Welcome to the Viral Coder. Today we are going to discuss that how to find all the permutation of a string in JavaScript. So basically what we have to do is we have to write a function which will take a string as an argument, and we have to return an array with all the permutation of that string, right? And coming to the point of permutation, it is basically the arrangement of characters in how many different ways we can arrange that. So mathematically, to find the number of ways, we can just find the factorial of the length of that string. Suppose the length of this string is 3. It means it can be arranged in 6 different ways. So the result is there for your convenience. And if the length of a string is 2, so it can be arranged in 2 different ways, right? So to solve this problem, we will use recursive function, right? So we will use the concept of recursion. So when a function calls itself inside its own body, then that function is known as recursive function, and that concept is known as recursion. So we will use that approach in it. To write a recursive function, the first thing we have to do is we have to find a break condition. When should it break, right? When a function is calling itself from its body, so we must have to write a break condition there. Otherwise, it will go as an infinite loop, right? So in this case, what we have a break condition. We have to find a break condition. So we will start solving this problem by considering a string of length 2, right, of length 1 or 2. So if we have to return all the permutation of string of a string which length is 1 or which length is 2, so it is the simplest thing, right? If the length of a string is 1, we just have to return that string in an array, and if the length of a string is 2, just like this pq, so we have to return an array which will contain a string itself, and we just have to reverse it. So pq becomes qp. So this will become our break condition in our solution, right? So let me write that function, and then we will see further. So I will name that function as string permutation, and it will accept an argument as str. Okay, and we have our break condition. So first what we will do is we will write this function according to that we have to find the permutation of a string which length is 2. So if the length of str, suppose if it is 1, then we just have to return that string, right? No issue there, we just have to return that string. Okay, and another one condition is if the length is 2, if the length of a string is 2, so in that case also we have to return an array, and inside array one will be the string itself and another will be the reverse of that string. So reverse will be first index and then 0th index, right? So this is our break condition. So we can test it. Test this function by sending the argument of a string which length is 2. So let me console this. Let me call this function by sending an argument of 2 characters, a string which is having 2 characters, right? So if we run that, let me run it. Okay, so if we run that, it is giving us the permutation of that string, right? So it is working fine till now. Now the real problem is how do we use this? How do we make this function to find the permutation of a string whose length is greater than 2? So if you analyze this string, how can we find the permutation? Is that we will loop through it, right? we will take we will loop through it, and in the first iteration we will extract a, we will take out a from this string, the remaining will be bc, and then we will find the permutation of that bc, right? So we will iterate this string and we will take out ith index character from that, and we will find the permutation of the rest string. So the permutation of rest string, the rest string is bc and the permutation is bc itself and cb, right? And then we will attach it with the ith character, right? So it becomes abc and acb. Again, in the second iteration we will take out b, and the rest string will be ac, and we will find the permutation of ac, so it becomes ac itself and ca, right? And we will attach it with b, we will join it with b. And again, in the last iteration we will take out c, so the rest string is ab, and we will find the permutation of ab, so it becomes ab and ba, and we will attach it with c. So this is how our approach goes, right? We will just iterate through it and we will find the permutation of rest characters. Okay, so no matter the length of a string is greater than 2 or 10 or 50 or what, so you just have to iterate through it and you just have to find the permutation of rest characters. Okay, find the permutation of rest strings, just like that. So let me declare a result variable which will store the final result, okay, and the final result is array in our case. And let me iterate through the string. So let us start a loop with 0, and it goes till the length of string, okay. And what we have to do is we have to find the permutation of the rest of the character. We have to just exclude ith index in that, okay. So I will store it in a variable called res, or temp permutation we can call it, okay. And we will call, to find the permutation we will call this function, right? So here is our recursive approach. We are calling a function inside, we are calling the same function inside its body, okay. And we have already written the break condition, okay. So it is not going to be an infinite loop like that. So whenever you just have to find the break condition whenever you are writing a recursive function, okay. So now what we have to do is we have to just take out the ith index from this string, and we have to send this bc into this function, right? So we will use the slice method for that. So you can just read about the slice method. It just returns a new array, okay, and we just have to pass the start and end index, okay. So it will return the new string. So the slice method works on both array and string also, so but it does the same kind of thing, okay. So I have to exclude this ith index. So for that I will first start excluding by beginning, and then I will join the characters after that ith index. So it will become like this. So I'm not going to explain the slice method in details here, so you can just read it more about this method. So let us console this temp permutation and see what is happening there. So you will have a better understanding of this thing, right? And let us return for right now. Let us return a empty array for that. Okay. So let me run this again, and we will make this argument as abc of 3 characters. Okay. So if we run it, you can see it is doing the same what we are doing, what we have what we have analyzed. So we are just in the first iteration, it is finding the permutation of BC, which is BC and CB. In the second iteration, it is finding the permutation of AC, and in the third iteration, it is finding the permutation of AB. Now we just have to join that character which the ith character, right? So first time we have to join that output with ith character, it means A. Second time we have to join it with B, and third time we have to join it with C. So whatever this output is, let us iterate it, okay, and we will get each value in this variable, and we will join it with the ith index. We will concatenate it, right? So now let us run it again, and now it becomes ABC, ACB, BAC, BCA, CAB and CBA. So a kind of output we are getting. So we are close to the result. Now we just have to store it in a single array, right, and return it. So for that we have declared our result variable. We will push it. So whatever the value of temp permutation is, so it will push whatever the value of temp permutation. So we are using a spread operator. Okay, now let us run it again. Cool. So we are getting the exact output here. You can check it with the string which has 4 characters also. Okay, so to arrange, I think the permutation of this will be the number of the number will be, I guess, 24. The factorial of 4 is, I guess, 24, right? So that's it. So that is how we can find the permutation of a string by using recursive function in JavaScript. So thank you guys, thank you for watching the video. Please do subscribe and like the video and share it with others if you find this video helpful.